Now make sure you're not a crescent with your crouton.
And make sure you're not being a dunce with your dormice. Yes, dormice, a species that is more closely related to squirrels than actual mice, and they are a fully protected species on account of facing significant decline in the last 50 years. They are nocturnal and are even known to snore, which is very cute. You will predominantly find dormice in the southern end of England and Wales in deciduous and freshly coppiced woodland. They tend to prefer these habitats because they offer good light penetration down to the forest floor, which allows an abundance of shrubbery to come through and freshly coppiced hazel, which leads to greater connectivity and hiding spaces within the habitat because they're only small and they're quite vulnerable to predators. This also allows an abundance of food sources to come through, which range from buds in the spring through to insects in the summer and fruits and nuts towards the autumn, where they'll gorge themselves prior to going into hibernation during the winter. Speaking of nuts, how can you tell that a dormouse is present within a habitat? Well, as far as nest box monitoring is concerned, because they are a protected species, you need a license to handle them and closely monitor them. But you and I, who don't possess a license, can closely look at their nuts, the edible ones. Anyway, compared to some other woodland species, you can see there's some distinct differences. If we look at the wood mouse, they tend to leave distinctive chew marks around the outer edge of where they've eaten, where the dormouse, because they've got quite dexterous hands, they're able to maneuver the nut and sort of scrape at it, really, is probably the best way I can describe that. And when you look at the squirrel, well, the squirrel just sort of breaks it in half, really, so that one's pretty easy to tell. So why is it that the dormouse is threatened? Well, this is predominantly due to a loss of habitat such as ancient woodland, poor connectivity as a result of habitat fragmentation, and the lack of proper woodland management as well. So how can you help preserve the hazel dormouse? Well, getting involved in organised woodland management schemes can be a great step. This can be done through organisations like the National Trust and the Wildlife Trusts, and you can report signs of dormice to them as well, such as the chewed nuts they may leave behind. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is dormice in a nutshell. And as always, if you didn't know before, you know now.